Monday's episode of The Young and the Restless reveals that Diane is ready to dismiss Kyle from his position, while Victor encourages Katie to give Claire a chance. Claire dreams of Jordan. Aunt's ominous message leads to trouble. Will Victoria end up marrying Cole or stay single in her romantic future? Greetings to all Young and the Restless fans. Don't forget to subscribe for the latest updates. The Young and the Restless spoilers Monday, June 24 update. Diane threatens to fire Kyle. Victor pushes Katie to accept Claire. The Young and the Restless spoilers update for Monday, June 24 reveals that Audra Charles will push Kyle Abbott to let the history go and just embrace this new occasion to work together. But you'll have trouble getting once all her faithlessness. When Diane Jenkins, Abbott intelligencers Audra and Kyle with their heads together, she'll get suspicious and set Kyle off with all her questions. Diane will ultimately hand down and claim and advise that Kyle will be fired if he doesn't fall in line. Although Kyle will have his dubieties about Jack Abbott supporting Diane's view, she'll remind him that he's been given the charge from the family business ahead. At the Newman estate, Victor Newman will refuse to hear to Nikki Newman and Nick Newman's opinions since he'll still believe Adam Newman needs to run Newman Media temporarily. Despite Nick and Nikki's enterprises about Victor's retired docket, they all know he much always gets his way on stuff like this. That's why Nikki will yield and just concentrate on the charity work that she's been neglecting, at least until her sobriety is a bit more secure. At the Method House, Katie Abbott won't see why Claire Grace has to live with them and will suppose she belongs at the Abbott house rather since she works there. After Victoria Newman shuts down the idea of throwing Claire out, Victor will stop by to catch up with Katie and Johnny Abbott. That'll lead to Victor reflecting on his days in the orphanage and playing up what a lonely nonage Claire had as well. Katie will feel surprised when Victor talks about Claire always wanting a family like her to love, so she'll ultimately feel more willing to give Claire a chance. Once Katie and Johnny go swimming, Victoria will let Victor know that she appreciates everything he said to Katie. As for whether Victoria will return to Newman Enterprises, she'll eventually agree to seriously consider it. Coming on Monday's Young and the Restless occasion, Victor will find Kyle at the GCAC and apply further pressure when it comes Toko running Glissade with Audra. Kyle will feel open to stepping down from Jabot, but he'll voice enterprises about Audra's manipulative history and push himself as a sole CEO seeker rather. At the bar in Paris, Tracy Abbott will have drinks with Alan Laurent after Regale and will help him deal with his moping guilt over Martin Laurent. Alan will also console Tracy since she'll be visited over Ashley Abbott's trauma and the possibility that she missed commodity that happened in her nonage. Still, Alan and Tracy will manage to have some lighter, kittenish moments too. So Tracy will feel like she's on Paul 9 once the date's over. Our prognostications point to Tracy and Alan heightening their bond, so stick with us for updates on any other romantic news. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Tracy and Alan could have a bright future together, so let stopgap effects keep going well for these two. The Young and the Restless spoilers Claire dreams of Jordan. Aunt's portentous communication leads to trouble. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Jordan may be locked up in an outside security captivity, but she's no way far from Claire Grace's mind. That's especially true now since Claire's been having to suppose about Jordan more frequently and explain her history to her new siblings. Johnny Abbott had questions about what it was like for Claire growing up with her crazy aunt. Meanwhile, Katie Abbott has been condemning Jordan for the house fire and floundering to separate Jordan's conduct from Claire's. Claire doesn't want to hide anything from Katie and Johnny, so she's tried to be honest about the horror that Jordan put her through. Unfortunately, reliving that horror could lead to trouble if it stirs up some agonies for Claire. It's egregious that Yander loves using Colleen's zinc, but they couldn't drag Jordan's plot out any farther. It was time for Jordan to head back to the Slammer, but there are still ways they can feature Zinc if she makes appearances in Claire's dreams. After all, Claire's had dreams about Jordan ahead, so there's no reason for her to stop now. This could be a good occasion to remind the followership of the cerebral risk that Jordan took on Claire and leave the door open for further issues to develop. Although Victor Newman will have a little converse with Katie and putatively help her come a bit more accepting of Claire, that doesn't mean effects will be smooth sailing from now on. Other problems could arise that make Kling delicate for the sisters, so Jordan might speak to Claire in a dream and act like she should have anticipated this. It's easy to imagine Jordan advising that Claire will no way truly win Katie over. Jordan might act like it's only a matter of time before Victoria Newman rejects her in favor of her other son. As Claire potentially grows near to Kyle Abbott, that could bring another chance for Jordan to pop up in agony form. Jordan might advise Claire that she's unable of real love and act like any love she might have is a disaster sting to be. Also again, perhaps Claire could dream of some portentous communication that feels more like a presentiment about Jordan's coming reign of terror. Jordan might deliver a trouble that leaves Claire upset about the eventuality for a captivity break or her aunt's mate in crime on the outside. Whatever the case, our prognostications point to further Jordan mayhem sooner or laterly, so Claire might get the first sign of it if Jordan haunts her while she's resting. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Claire has some surprises in store no matter what, so we'll bring you updates on any Jordan news that's brewing. The Young and the Restless spoilers Victoria's romantic future, fated for Cole wedding or back to single status. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Victoria Newman has devoted plenitude of time to connecting with Claire Grace in recent months. And now she's devoting time to reconnecting with Katie Abbott and Johnny Abbott too. Since it looks like Victor Newman will move Victoria to return to Newman Enterprises, that's bound to keep her busy as well. Nonetheless, Victoria doesn't need to neglect her love life, especially when effects are on the verge of hotting up. Yander suckers know Victoria lately went on a lovely date with Cole Howard, so she invited him to stay for a drink at the Method House subsequently. Cole snappily realized that could lead to hitting the waists, so he decided to leave beforehand and hold off to make sure Victoria was truly ready. Still, Cole and Victoria could be headed for some passion soon, so that could consolidate their bond indeed further and lead to further of a commitment between them. Of course, it seems like suckers are divided about whether Victoria belongs with Cole or not. Some suckers find Cole to be a sweet and probative love interest for Victoria, especially compared to some of the further conniving men she's dated. Others feel like Victoria and Cole's love is rather boring, so you might hope she falls into another Joe's arms if you're lodging against them. Cole clearly isn't the most instigative man in Genoa City, so maybe you're hoping for a little further spice. Do you suppose Victoria and Cole will end up planning their marriage down the road, or should Victoria return to single status rather and ultimately put herself back out there? It'll be intriguing to see what Victoria's coming romantic chapter looks like, so we'll pass along updates on her relationship with Cole and make prognostications on whether it'll end in marriage or disastrous news. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Victoria will have a lot to juggle in the coming occurrences, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching these videos. Please hit the subscribe button for more updated news.